Yate, Michael Smith, Yansha. Jami Hanu Ako Dene. Do Nanist Eja Tachini Bashichin. Hello, everybody. My name is Michael Smith. I am Eagle Clan from the Pueblo of Acoma. Do Nanist Eja Tachini Bashichin, which is I was born for red running into water. That's my dad's clan. I have a secret. I really do have a secret. And this secret is about a group of Navajo warriors that created a code that saved this country and our people. It's December 7th, 1941. I'm reading the newspaper and I see that the Japanese have bombed Pearl Harbor and that they have advanced across the Pacific Ocean. And I'm wondering, what am I going to do? Because they can come on to mainland, they can come on to the Netop, Navajo land, and bomb our people and bring war to the four sacred mountains. What am I going to do? What am I going to do as a young Navajo warrior? I'm going to take the fight to them. How can I do this? I'm going to join the most elite fighting force in the world, the United States Marine Corps. How can I do the most damage? I'll be a pilot. I think that's how I can do the most damage. So I go down and talk to my buddies, Samuel Billison and Virgil Kirk. And we talk about the war. And we talk about how devastating it is that they're coming to the United States, to the homeland. So we decide to go down to the recruiter station. The recruiter immediately takes my buddies and tells me that I'm too young. I didn't have a birth certificate then, so I turn around and I walk back in and I give another date that is old, that makes me older. December 25th, 1925. I was actually born in March, in springtime. That's what my mom said my birthday was. So we go down to the recruiter station. We enlist, and I go to boot camp that following year when I finished my sophomore year. And boot camp was pretty easy. I thought it was going to be tough, but it wasn't. At least you got to eat all the time. So we passed boot camp. After I graduated boot camp, I went to get my orders. I was excited to go to flight school. And my drill instructor says, "Sorry, son, you don't have a diploma. Even though you passed all the aptitude tests, you don't have a diploma, so you're not qualified to fly a plane." Are you Navajo? Are you Native American? Come with me, son. Grab your bags. I grab my bags. And I'm taken down to Camp Elliot. I go to Camp Elliot and I walk into these barracks. Sheesh. Nothing but Indians. Mostly Navajos. So we start finding out what's going on here. So as I find out that I'm going to comm school, and when I come to this barracks, I find out that they're actually testing us Navajos on our fluency in the language, Navajo and English, whether or not we can read or write. Some men got weeded out. Then we were given more tests in reference to our intelligence. Our men got weeded out. Then we got sent to comm school, and that was our MOS. That was what we were assigned, radio men. So we learned every form of communication that the Marine Corps had. Morse code, Semperfi, radios, telephone. We learned how to operate all this equipment to repair it, because you can't just order a new one, you know. So I go, I graduate comm school, and then they take me back to Camp Elliot, and I go into this classroom, and I look around, and I'm kind of shocked, because there's all these Navajo Marines sitting in wooden chairs and desks, and something that I never seen, a Navajo instructor. And they were talking Navajo, but I didn't know what they were talking about. I learned that they were learning the Navajo Code. The Navajo Code took the Navajo language and created a counterpart in the English language in military terms. So, like, say for instance, the eggs for instance, they were bombs. But the code word was Ienji. Submarines were ironfish, Beshlo. Divisions were our troops were named after clans. So, like, divisions was Ashihi clan. And so that's how they did it. But eventually I graduated from Navajo Code Talker school. They put me into battle. When there were Navajos, so this was a secret code, and the Japanese eventually found out that it was a Native American language. They found out it was Navajo, so they started capturing. They started looking for Navajos, captured a Navajo that was in the army, and tortured him. He was on the radio, and he couldn't understand what they were talking about. They're talking about eggs, so they must be talking about breakfast. The Code Talkers are calling an airstrike. So this goes back to the very beginning of my experience with learning this secret. My father came home from when the code was declassified in 1968. My father came home from Chicago. He had been invited with other Navajo Code Talkers to the annual convention, the 4th Marine annual convention in Chicago. And he was getting all dressed up, getting his eye tied, and he was, it's pretty exciting getting ready for this. When he came home, he had a medal. And the medal was of Ira Hayes on a horse, and the raising of the flag of Iwo Jima on the back. I was 7 years old. And when I saw the medal, I was just amazed at the craftsmanship. And so my father must have done something very special to receive this. Later on, he received the 2000 Navajo Code Talker Congressional Medal. And his thought about medals was, I don't really care for medals. What I care for, what really matters to me, is the gratitude of the people expressing their appreciation for us using our language to help our people, to help our home. Code word, Nama. These were the Navajo Code Talkers. Thank you.